Okay, so Saturday, November 4th at 12:03 a.m. Nobody's up that early, hopefully. And if you stayed up late, you're going to sleep, but that's good. So we have Saturn stationing direct, again, 12:03 a.m. And we have the moon in Cancer opposing Pluto, which is very powerful. We have a grand cross going on because it's involving the moon. So a grand cross is 2 T-squares, right? So we've got Pluto up here in T-square to the nodes and Eris, and then over to the south node, yeah, like that. And then the moon is in a T-square to same thing, same planets or points. It is a very powerful, with that 29 degrees of, well, if you get up later, it'll be in Leo, but that's still going to be a lot of energy. But that 29 degrees of Cancer is intense intuition, intense feelings. We could wake up having some dreams going, whoa. And with the square to the nodes, we're integrating the past with the future. If you can stay present with your feelings, and if you're in your power, no worries, right? If you're working from who you are within. Oh yeah, we have the Empress, 7 of Cups reversed. If you're working with, coming from who you are within, everything works out really well. Okay, little challenge with the cards, but we can turn these around. I always believe we can turn everything around. So the challenge is knowing that your free will is the most innate gift that anybody will ever own. And I know, when you're little, you don't feel like you have any free will because mom is in charge, right? Mom's in charge. You have, sometimes moms will say, well, that's not an option today, or, the wiser moms nowadays will say that. My daughter-in-law used to say that all the time when their kids were little. Now, girls, that's not an option. And they'd look at her and sneer. But nowadays, that's a good mom. In the old days, it was like, no, because I said so. Don't even ask me why. Things like that. So if you heard that when you were growing up, you would grow up thinking that the world isn't very nurturing, isn't very giving. It hampers your creativity. And with the 7 of Cups reversed, you would have that feeling that I just don't have very many options, or do I even have one option? I don't know what to do. What's going on? Where do I go from here? That type of thing. And that can leave a person feeling frozen and feeling stuck and wondering what to do and feeling helpless. And then that leads to feeling hopeless. And so it's just a big farce. It's a big lie. It's not true. But when you're little, you don't know that. And when you're little, if you don't latch onto your mom, you don't make it, right? So we grow up and we've got all these false beliefs to let go of, to shed, to get rid of. I'm looking at that snake there. It's like shedding the skin and letting go of the old ways. That's it. It wasn't even you that thought that, right? If your mom could have just been mom, or whoever it was that was around you, could even have been a teacher. If they could have been more encouraging, or been encouraging at all, it would have been a completely different ball game, right? Just think about it. So that's one way to read these cards. Another way would be that with the Empress card, it's our mom card usually, but when our moms are good and they've nurtured our creativity, if they've seen and if they've given us the gift of letting us be seen and heard, and if they've understood us, then that turns into our creative self-expression as we grow up. So in the best of everything. That's what what we've hopefully had, but not always. So another way to read the Empress card has to do with being connected to nature. Maybe with the Seven of Cups, with the weather, unless you're coming from Australia, which Libby, from our dear friend from Australia, from Meister Tarot, and many others. I have a lot of people from Australia, but they're having a summer, so it's a completely different game for them. This card is ruled by Venus, so we could even think of anything that has to do with conception, anything that has to do with beauty, fertility, being very sensual, all things connected to abundance, all things connected to unifying in a way that brings things together. And in this deck, it could be worlds, And we could also look at, I love the little white dots she's drawn in. I had to put a bra on her for YouTube purposes, but sorry about that. When it comes to the world here, this could be all about, prayers going out and all the work that we can do to, support the Mother Earth as she's going through great changes because of climate change. Well, of course, we're the ones that are going to go through the changes. She'll just shake it off. It's going to be us. But anyway, with the Seven of Cups reversed, it's usually a lack of options. It could be that we're distracted today. It could be that maybe we're caretaking an elderly mom and there's a lot of distraction. I think that's probably the case for many of you. And then other times it's a card, the Seven of Cups reversed is a card of feeling overwhelmed by emotions and just overwhelmed by family and overwhelmed by life. There's just too much. So I don't know which it is for you. You'll have to let us know later. But if you need prayers, throw it in the comments. You'll get them. That's for sure. Now, with the Wheel reversed, it's usually our card for not knowing that you have choice, not knowing that you're very powerful. But then other times it's just a card of having a little bit of a delay. There's some kind of a little setback. And then for some of us on the deeper levels, when we get this card, it has to do with our resistance. Like if we don't want to look at something and we just want to stay down and we want to stay pessimistic and we want to always feel like we're just always going to get the bottom of the barrel, the dregs of life. It doesn't, that's not true. But if we believe it is, that's what we attract, because your belief creates your, it helps to organize your reality. But not within every single little detail, because life isn't perfect like that. And you can have one negative thought and then turn around and cancel it right out with a positive thought, and then it shifts everything. So, there are no hard and fast rules. Just the laws of love to work within. So, okay, that's all I have for today. You guys let me know what else you get, though. So, okay, big hugs. Bye.